have
pay
no
tax.
choice. I have to pay tax.
I have to pay tax.
Parking.
I have to save money. Yeah.
You have to what? Save
Save
money.
money.
You have to work because you have to save money.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? I have to stay married. Oh, sensitive. Okay. What else? What else? You feel like you have to? Anything you feel like you have to?
To pay your bills.
I have to pay my bills.
I have to listen to my parents.
Asian.
Oh.
If you ask my parents, they say I don't, but I have to lah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. What else? Anything outrageous? Tell me. You have to. I have to mean that means you have no choice. I have to do this. Huh?
Communicate.
Communicate to people.
Introvert perspective.
I have to communicate with people. Okay. Okay. Anything else you have to do? So these are the things that you feel like you have to do because you feel like you don't have a choice. Right? You don't have a choice. I have to do this. Whatever it is, I have to do this. Right? You all feel that way? Anything else you feel like you don't have a choice besides this? I want you to think about everything, okay, because after this, don't talk about anything else. This is it, that you feel that you have no choice. Everything else got a choice. What is it that you don't have a choice? This is pretty much? Okay? Pretty much? Okay, cool. So, let's examine it one at a time. Whether you really don't have a choice. Okay? I have no choice but to communicate with people. Okay? Okay, now think about this. What happens if you don't communicate?
Sunyi.
Huh?
Sunyi.
Sunyi. Okay. So sunyi itu is what? Consequence, right? If you don't communicate with people, you akan sunyi. So it's a consequence.
Yeah.
So now, because you don't want to be sunyi, you communicate. Huh?
Actually, too sunyi.
You don't want to be too sunyi, so you communicate with people. Are you making a choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
You're still making a choice right now. Because you don't like this, you do this. Correct? Okay. So you have a choice or not to communicate with people? Now. You're making a choice or not? You're making a choice because if you don't communicate, you will feel sunyi. So you communicate. You are making a choice. Right? You're making a decision. Okay, you have a choice. I have to work. Choice or no choice? Huh?
No choice.
No choice.
Have to work for it.
You have to work, what? No choice. You have to work, what? But
Not unless I win the lottery.
okay, okay. What happens if you don't work?
No money.
No money. Okay, no money. Then what happens?
You're done.
No life. No food. No money. You don't have a lifestyle, right?
A lot of
Painful, lah.
Yeah.
Right? Painful. That's too painful. Because it's too painful, I work lah. Are you making a choice or not?
Yeah.
Between this pain
pain.
and this work. Okay lah, never mind. This is painful. I work lah.
It's less painful.
Less painful
Yeah.
this one. Right? So you're making a choice or not? Making a choice. Right? So you have choice. You have choice to work. But it is painful, but it's not as painful as not having enough.
Yeah.
Or not having a work.
Or, but you're still making a decision. So you still have a choice. Okay? What about this? I have to drive to work. For choice or no choice?
Good choice.
Huh?
Good choice.
For choice.
Yeah.
You can take public transportation, you can take Grab, You can
Have your money
work,
back, work.
or you can choose to stay at home, don't come to work. You can do all that, you have a choice.
Yeah.
But are there consequences to the choice or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's consequences. Because you don't like the consequence, you say, okay,
Drive to work.
because the pain is too much there, this is lesser pain. So I choose this. Okay? For choice or not? Choice, eh? What about I have to drink water? For choice or not?
I don't think.
You don't think. What happens if you don't drink water?
Dehydrated.
Dehydrated. Then what happens? No, you dehydrated, right? So what happens to you once you get dehydrated? Huh?
You cannot function.
You cannot function.
Headache.
You get headache. You get headache, then if you are too dehydrated, you get admitted in the hospital, then you put saline for you. Correct? You don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like the consequence of that. So you drink water. Choice or not? Choice. You making a choice, conscious choice. I have to pee. What happens if you don't want to go to pee? When you hold it? Huh? You curse your bladder. Something happens. You know that's going to happen. So what do you do? Oh no, I don't want that. It's too painful. I go and pee.
Yeah.
Right? What about I have to sleep? What happens if you don't sleep?
You cannot function.
You cannot function. Right?
Yeah.
So because you cannot function, you go and sleep. Yeah. What about this? I have to look after my health. What happens if you don't look after your health? You fall sick. So you fall sick, what happens? Then something happens to you, you land in the hospital, you have to pay for the hospital bills, and then maybe, if something serious happens, yeah. So you don't want that.
Yeah.
It's too painful. So I look after my health. Making a choice. I have to pay taxes. For choice or no? Pay taxes. Huh? No choice. No
Yeah,
choice.
the choice is you pay your taxes when you go to jail.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't pay taxes, you go to jail. So because you don't want to go to jail, you don't want to go against the law, you pay taxes. You still make a choice. Right? I have to pay bills. What happens if you don't pay bills?
You don't get what you pay when you're not paying for.
Say for example, if you are staying in your house, you don't pay your electricity bills. What happened? You'll cut your electricity, you won't have electricity. So you want the electricity, so you make a choice to pay the bills. Right? What about listening to parents? Do you have a choice or not? No choice.
Oh, that's a choice. That's a choice. It's a very painful choice. But that's a choice.
There's a choice, right? So you have a choice, right? So if you notice, right, these are the things you felt like you didn't have a choice. But now when you look at it, right, you actually have got a choice. Because the consequence was too painful, you decided to do this. But then you forget about the consequence. You keep saying, I got no choice, I got no choice, I got no choice. No, you have a choice. But because you don't like the consequence of that choice, you rather do this. This is less painful compared to that. Same thing in everything in life. You have a choice. Okay, remember that. Because when you claim that right to say, I have a choice, right, your life, you will be more freer.
But then what if it's a choice that we cannot pick? Like, for example, let's just say I have to work, right? I think yes, it's a choice that if I don't work, the consequences will replace the consequences. But that's not a choice that I want to pick, you know what I mean? So I do not have an option. So it's either yes or no. So
Okay.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, right, we are all preserving ourselves. We want to survive.
Yeah.
We want to survive, right? Let me give you a story to answer your question. Okay? Now, have you all seen James Bond? Movie James Bond?
Yes.
Huh? You all seen, right? James Bond, huh? Okay. Now imagine I'm James Bond. Okay, I'm James Bond. So I'm walking and walking, okay, suddenly I come into this room and I'm trapped into this room. James Bond movie, yeah? Trapped into this room and okay, this is me. Okay, and this is the room. Okay, this is the room. Right? I'm stuck here, and just like any other James Bond movie, right? Suddenly, right, I find myself stuck, and the walls are closing in.
Yes.
And then the music starts. Okay, then I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. So what do I do as James Bond? What do you think I will do?
Kingston.
Huh?
Think of the way to survive.
I think of a way to survive. Will I say, oh my God, that's it? It's time to say goodbye. No, right? James Bond will try and find a way,
Yeah.
right? So James Bond will be running here, running there, and trying to find a way. Then what happens is James Bond finds two holes, okay, an escape, and one way of escaping this. He came here, and if you look at it, and he said this is covered with lots of snakes, deadly snakes. Okay,
Right.
and this one is covered 3/4 with human poo. Now, James Bond needs to make a decision. What does he do? Okay, what are the options available to James Bond right now? Option 1,
Stay in the room.
stay. Okay. Option 2,
Down inside the snake.
okay, this is B, this is A and B.
Go to A.
Go to A. Option 3,
Go to B.
go to B. Right?
Yeah.
3 options now.
Yeah.
Is those options nice options for you?
No.
Is it like, this is a great option I can select? No. So what would James Bond do, you think?
Make a choice.
Make a choice. Okay. So in this situation, you being James Bond, what choice would you make? No, you won't say why me. That's not what James Bond does. James Bond is now way past all that. Now he is like, oh, I gotta find a way to survive. Right? And that's what we all are doing. When we make choices, we are finding ways to survive. That's built in our DNA. Okay?
That's the objective.
That's your objective, and that's why we are always adapting to change. Because we want to survive. Okay? So, in this situation, what does James Bond do? Each option. A, B, C.
think B.
Huh?
B.
All agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well. Yes.
So comes in
Least painful option.
least painful option. So he covers his nose, take a deep breath, and he jumps inside there. Right? Once he jumps inside there, he cannot cover his nose for a long time, right? Okay? And he opens, what does he say?
What a good smell.
Oh shit! That's what James Bond says, right? Does he like the situation that he is in? But is that the best option available at that point of time?
Yes.
At that point of time, that's the best option. Okay. Make sense? Yes. So in life, it's really about expanding these choices. That's what we are trying to do, expand these choices. So when you have so many choices, then your decision will be, oh shit, no. It can be other choices as well. So that is why you go for training, that is why you learn new skill, that is why you go and do different things, so that you have many options. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, see if you can expand different options. If you have different options, then you have more choices to make. Okay? Okay, cool. And choice is very important because there was an experiment made, right, a long time ago. too much of it. So it does. Okay, this is the dog. This is the bell. Okay. Have you all heard of the Pavlov experiment? Yeah? Okay, Pavlov experiment. So, the Pavlov experiment is, this is food. Huh? So, the Pavlov experiment is, Pavlov brought a dog, okay, he brought a dog, and he wants to see how the dog is reacting to food. So, every time he brings the food, right, and he rings the bell, and then he gives the food to the dog, and the dog eats the food, okay? And then he did that a couple of times. Every time he brings the food, he rings the bell, and the dog eats the food, right? After a few times, what he did was, he didn't bring the food, okay? But he just rang the bell. What do you think the dog was doing?
Getting ready to eat.
Getting ready to eat. And how does dog get ready to eat? They salivate. You know, they know that the food is coming, right? So he made a conclusion. Okay, he made a conclusion. He said there is stimulus and there is response. There is stimulus and there is response. Okay, that means in this situation, what is the stimulus?
The bell.
The bell. The bell is the stimulus, right? What's the response?
The food.
The food or what?
The saliva.
The dog. The dog, salivating, that's the response, right? So he made a conclusion that if you have stimulus, you will have response. You have stimulus, there is response. This is true in the case of animals. But then he also said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. There is a space, okay, for human beings. Imagine we all are, you also like that, like the dog, right? Ring the bell or food, Do you think it's the same with us? No, isn't it? We are different from the animals. So, and that space, right, is called so that is why when say someone is making you angry, always making you angry all the time, right? How do you respond to that person? If you don't have this, what happens is, stimulus is the person making you angry, you respond. You get a nasty email, okay, you respond nastily immediately without thinking. Stimulus, respond. Stimulus, respond. But if you say, I have a choice, how do I respond to this email? Okay, that's the human part where you respond. You have a choice. So likewise, when you feel that your life has got, you have a choice, right? Then your response will be different. But if you feel like you don't have a choice, your response will be very different. You just go through like, the hamster in the wheel. Run. The wheel stops, you just stop. Wheel, run. After a while, you run. What happens?
Go nowhere.
Go nowhere. You stay in the same place. But if the hamster thought for a minute, hey, what the heck am I doing? Why am I running in the same spot? Right? Then you'll have a different action, right? It's the same thing with us. Sometimes we keep on running, right? Without really thinking, why are we running? Where are we running to? What is it that we really want? Yeah. And we reflect and we think, then we take different action. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A bit of coaching for you guys. Alright, so, what's the time now? Oh, almost 12. Okay, what I like you to do is, based on the discussion just now, right? I like you to think about what is it that you're going to do now. Since now you have got a change that you're going through, and your colleague has given you some ideas, how do you handle those change? I like you to think about 2 actions that you're going to take in the next 1 week, and write that down. 2 actions that you're going to take so that you can handle this change easily.
You want to do your weekly check?
Hmm?
You want to weekly check?
No. I'm just trying to see how I can save paper.
No,
It's
no.
okay.
Don't worry about it.
Just finish it. That sounds.
It's not good for the environment, so.
Ah.
Okay, done. Okay, I also want to just touch a little bit about having a victim mentality and taking responsibility. Do you all know what being a victim is?
I have no choice.
Yeah, I have no choice. That's being a victim, right? And have you heard someone who is a victim having a victim mentality talk? Have you heard? How does that feel like when you're listening to somebody who's a victim talk? You're shaking your head. Tell me, something is going on there.
I've noticed that they have a lot of negativity inside.
Uh-huh.
A lot of. Regardless, we can't foresee the future, right?
Mm.
Who knows, something that's going to happen in the future might be something that's good for them.
Mm.
But all they see is negative things.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's one
yes.
thing I noticed
Uh-huh.
on a few different people
Uh-huh.
in a few different situations.
Okay, good. What else you all see? What else you all see in a victim? Somebody who's called a victim.
Everything happens to them.
Poor me, look at me, everything is happening to me, I'm the unlucky one.
Why me?
Why me? Okay, what else? And when you have a victim speak, right, they always make it about themselves. Like you see, I am going through this, I'm this and that, Okay?
It's like
Okay.
the world revolves around them.
And the world revolves around them. Yeah? And if anything happens to them, even though it's their fault, who do they're going to blame somebody else?
Yeah,
It's this person did this. It's not me, it's they, it's their problem, it's not me. Right? That's how a victim is. Okay? Do you think a victim has got choice or no choice? I mean, in their mind,
their
right?
mind, they
In
don't
their
think they
mind,
have a
right?
choice.
They feel like they got no choice,
Yeah.
right? So whenever we feel like I have no choice, guess what we are doing?
Playing victim.
We are playing a victim. We are saying that I have no choice now. Somebody needs to help me now. I got no choice. Right? Taking responsibility. What's taking responsibility mean?
You own your.
You own your, pardon my language, your shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You screwed up, fine, handle it. You made a mistake, handle it. Right?
Yeah.
I want you to think about this from a child and adult perspective. A child, small children, say like 5 years and below, right? Does a child be a victim or take responsibility most of the time? Victim. Oh, she did that to me, that to me. The child. Who takes responsibility? Adults. Right? So remember, whenever we start blaming other people or other situations and saying, I have no choice, I got to do this, even though this change is happening, I got no choice, And this is very important when you're having conversations with your people as well. When they come from that, think whenever they are talking about having no choice and all this is thing happening to me, they are coming from a victim thinking. So as a manager, as a leader, our role is to help them move from here and get them to take responsibility. And how we do that is by showing them that, hey, you have got different choices. Let's look at what choices you have. This is one choice, this is another choice, this is another choice. So when they see choices, their eyes open and say, oh yeah, I have got choices. I am no longer a victim. Make sense?
Yeah.
So change is really essentially, if I were to sum it up, right, it's just that. It's really as leaders, as managers, we need to help people see choices. That's all. That's all to it. Help them see choices. When you are able to help them see choices, right, then they have decisions to make. If they don't see choices in front of them, then they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do and this is the only thing I have. Then they go into a victim mentality. Okay? Okay, cool. So you guys have done your action planning? Okay, cool. I think we have probably one more slide to go. But really I'd like to hear from you what is some of the takeaways that you have from this session. It's a short session. I just wanted to give you an intro, and I don't want to make it so academic, like our EDCA model, this model, that model, but something that's personal for you, something that you can relate to and use for your own life. Any questions you have?
There's always a choice.
Yeah, I think even wanting to change or
Yeah.
change itself is a choice that you make as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So when you are faced with change in the future, right? Don't be afraid of it. Always go from, hey, you know what? I have a choice here. How am I handling this? And if you are feeling, oh, and it's very normal when you have a new change where your heartbeat goes up and you get a bit uncomfortable. Ask yourself, hey, even my breathing style right now, do I have a choice? Can I breathe properly so that I can regulate my breathing? How do I respond to this? Do I have a choice? Okay, this change is too much, too overwhelming. Can I respond to this? Yes, of course I can respond to this. I can do this or I can do this. Always come from a position of I have choice. Remember James Bond. Okay, you all are James Bond. You all have choice. You can decide what you want to do. Don't feel like you're trapped in any situation, any time in life. It can be your relationships, it can be work, it can be anything. Always you have a choice. Alright?
Yes.
Okay, any questions? No? So,
Sorry. One question is, what if, as middle manager, right, you people you manage assume you have power,
Mhm.
but you don't actually have
Mhm.
power. You're not just a middle manager, you're a middleman.
Mm.
You know, you're passing
Mm.
messages from one side to the other.
Mm.
So then how do you get them to understand, and how do you respond to that change there, where you're being told by the management to pass on information that's painful,
Mhm.
and they have to just accept it?
Mm. Okay. So that's a very good question, and I think the way I would respond to that is, we have no control over outcomes.
Mm. Mm.
We have only control over our actions, what we do and how we do it. But we don't know, like for example, you can go and have a conversation with that staff. Okay, let's for example, a company is going through change, right? And the staff needs to be let go.
Mm.
Okay? It's a nightmare, I know, but the staff need to be let go. And you want to have a conversation, right? And you want to be as empathetic as possible, as kind as possible. And you do that part. Being kind, being empathetic and all that, right? But the person who is receiving that news, how will that person feel? You still have no control.
Yeah.
What do you have control of?
How you deliver the news.
Yes. You have control of how you deliver the news, how you say it, and what you can do. You have no control over how the person will respond. Yeah. So again, when you are receiving those information, it's about how you say it without really being attached to the outcome.
Right. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah.
And it's the same thing in life, in every aspects of life. You know, I always go back to relationships, because what you are outside is the same thing as how you are inside. Yeah. So even in relationships, how you are is the same. Any other questions? Let me have. Seems like you have a question.
Yeah, I'm listening to everyone.
You're listening.
Yeah.
Okay, what would be one key takeaway for you? You say choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yourself, what would be choice? Choice, let's go. Okay.
What is your one word takeaway from this?
Oh, it's like
Choice also. Okay. Choice, I think relating it to the topic in hand today is really choice in whatever change that you are going through. You remember you have a choice, and remember that if you have like a team under you or people who are working for you, they have a choice. So as a leader, it's about us communicating that and saying, hey, these are the different options that we have. Because when people see options, then they feel, okay, there's possibilities, I can try this, I can try that. They don't feel trapped. And that's what people are so afraid of when we introduce change. The feeling of being trapped. I have no choice. I am a victim. What's that? That's your
I think
point.
it's on everything from what
Uh-huh,
I
yes.
mentioned. I think that comes with responsibility as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, remember, we are adults. We must respond by taking responsibility. The buck stops with us.
Yeah.
No victim.
No mentality.
Yeah, buck stops with us. Anything, any. Sorry to use this word. Any shit that happens also.
Yeah.
Anything happen. Even relationship schools are take responsibility. Yes, I did this and I screwed up.
What's next?
Then once you establish that, then it's okay. Now how do I move forward? Because we are not perfect. We all make mistakes. We are not perfect. So the faster we acknowledge that,
Yeah.
the faster we move. So likewise, like in change, right, there is a graph that goes like this. This is status quo, and it goes down. goes back, and then goes up. Okay? It means this is status quo. Then a change happens, then your mood just goes down like that all the way. All the way down until you come to a critical decision point. At that point, right, you decide, hey, this is not working, I gotta do something different. And when you do something different, and that comes with options that you have, different options that you have. And then what happens is, you slowly come out. And then at this point, right, you excel and become better. But for some people, this process is very long
Yeah.
because they don't see options. So as leaders, our role is to give people options so that they can come out of this quickly. Okay. What about you? What's your
Decision.
hmm?
Decision.
Decisions?
Yeah, sometimes we have choice, and unknowingly, like we run according to the time, and we keep running,
Mm.
and we fail to decide that we have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. It's like you have option A and option B, and then you stand there in the middle.
Something we think,
Do I
think and think and
and
think
think and think and think, and you don't do anything, and
Yeah. Indecision is also a decision, you know.
yeah,
Mm.
indecision is all about.
It's a decision.
That's an option C.
Yeah.
You don't realize it's
Yeah,
option C.
it's also a decision. You don't want to, you know,
You don't want to make
you don't want to make a decision. That's also a choice.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Good.
Thinking.
Awesome. All right. So the next part is really, I think you cost evaluation. So they gave me this nice, code for you guys to like scan and then do some evaluation. Does it work? It works. Okay. What questions you want to ask us, I perceive?
Can you just like me?
Hmm? This one. This one.
Yeah.
The shirt also may come because part of this. Okay, cool. Any questions you have? No? All good?
Good session.
It was really good.
Good. I hope you guys enjoyed the the session was a bit of coaching plus change management because it goes hand in hand actually. Because when you go through change, it's really about helping people see options.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you see options, then your eyes opens up. Oh, okay, I can do this too. Oh, I can do that too. And you know, when you have a team, it's always good to have the conversation and give them options. And the session that you all had earlier, where you spoke about, is really about helping you to ask the questions and you know have the conversations and then do
Therapy overview.
yeah, and then come up with options. That's really what it is. It's not really, for me personally, it's not just about outcome model, quarter model, or whatever. That's all good and well, but it's really about how you make it applicable for people. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty much what I have.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome, and I hope you found it enjoyable and you know learned a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Attendance?
Yep.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Naviha, for preparing the laptop and everything.
It's okay.
It makes it so easy for me. I just walk in. I don't have to bring my laptop.